right, let's go for the nerd. Oh, I can't. I literally can't. That's actually pretty decent. Look at that explosion damage. If you could take advantage of that explosion, you can actually... Wow. Okay, so now the nurses are dead. Get that health low, a little bit of totally rocking out action, some easy explosions, and the encampment's dead. That's actually, dare I say it, pretty impressive coming from the Black Blade. I did not expect this weapon to impress me at all, but that wasn't too bad. That wasn't too bad at all. I cannot believe I am leveling up the Black Blade. This is a weapon that has never impressed me. I'm going off of weapon damage this time, so we're sticking to Sunbeam. Let's see if we can make this thing usable. All right, full disclosure, I have only ran the Black Blade like less than 10 minutes in my life, but today I wanted to give it a solid shot at impressing me. I wanted to just see, does this weapon have any merit? So, this might not be the best build. If there is some Black Blade enthusiast who really thinks I got something wrong today, comment down below. If this video gets enough views and enough people care about the Black Blade for me to make another one, I could try it again, but I think I did a pretty good job either way, so I'm going to show you what I'm thinking. I am not going to core reperk this weapon. Damage to nature could be good. That's a much healthier way to go, considering we will be reducing our health every time we get an elimination with a 3-second cooldown. And I figured attack speed, crit rating, crit damage is typically what you want on a melee. You really don't want slow attack speed, but this weapon doesn't swing fast enough to really maximize Luna's potential. So it's not going to be some fast swinging Paleo Luna spammer. So I'm running crit rating, crit damage, and I think that's going to be pretty solid just for getting the damage out there. We have Whiteout Fiona in support, buffing us to a 45.5% crit chance. I know you can't see that, that's why I'm saying it. And then we have the 80% damage based on our missing health, which is, in my opinion, this is kind of a lore-themed build. This is sort of how the weapon was intended to be used, as far as I can figure. This weapon was introduced with the black metal weapons. It's intended to lower your health at the benefit of increasing your damage. So having that 5th perk, I feel, is how this weapon was intended. Hopefully that makes it decent. And in the lore theme, we are actually using Mer Monster Ken, who will be increasing our damage based on lack of health. So in that instance, now that I'm saying this out loud, I do believe Paleo Luna would be the worst hero in the lead, because getting damage from health is typically not advised. Assassin Sarah and Swordmaster Ken are kind of my two options here. I'm going to use... I don't know. Maybe I should use Swordmaster Ken, just because I don't often get a chance to use him, and I think it'd be nice to just get that clean 75%. We are running a sword after all. Assassin Sarah would be good, but she's dependent on getting a lot of hits, and it's not exactly a super fast swinging weapon. I don't know. 0.46 isn't too bad. Either way, we're running Totally Rockin' Out. Battle Beat and Fumble will be increasing our attack speed regardless, so, you know, I guess attack speed won't be too bad. Totally Rockin' Out is just all I can think of to make this weapon do as much damage as it can. Arlene Iza and Totally Rockin' Out will be our two modes of keeping our health up. I know that healing myself constantly is going to be in contradiction to lowering my health for the weapon, but if I don't have something in here to heal me, I'm just going to die. So I feel like this might be the way to go. I might regret this in the video. We'll see, I guess. And then, of course, we have anatomy lessons, as mentioned, just to up our crit rating. So, yeah. That's the tricky thing with the low health thing. I don't want to be healing myself because I want to take advantage of that health, but I don't want to be dead. So we're just going to see how this works. And hey, again, comment down below if you think I got it wrong, but I'm going to give the Black Blade a try today. Obviously, I didn't mention this in the video, but it's available in the event shop. This should be available until November 10th. So if you're watching this in 2022, it should still be available. If you're watching this in 2023, comment down below. Welcome. I'm hoping this will give you a nice little buying guide on whether or not you should pick up the Black Blade. All right, saving a survivor with Aura. Let's see, how well does it do? Oh no, it's struggling against a nurse. This is a really, really bad sign. Obviously, I'm gonna need low health to take the most advantage out of this weapon, but I'm not exactly blown away right now. Allie, thank you for the Prime sub. If you guys haven't followed on Twitch, link to that down below. It's definitely a fun place to hang out. It's where I record all of these videos. So if you want to be a part of the shenanigans, watching survivors die while I use a garbage weapon, it's a great place to hang out. All right, we got another encampment and a hype train forming on Twitch. I am not going to be able to handle 2 encampments at once. This is scary. All right, let's get a kill so we can activate that. All right, there we go. See, look at that. The more damage I'm taking, the more damage I'm dealing, which is actually pretty cool. I'm watching my health go really, really low, and then that explosion damage is actually picking up the slack. Maybe I should wait to take some damage first, in fact. I mean, it's a weird thing to be waiting to take damage in order to deal damage. It's definitely not how I typically want to play, but we did actually take care of an encampment, which is surprising. I know there was a fumble back there. I was kind of hoping I'd be able to pick it up, but maybe I'll get another one here. Yeah, so that's another thing where typically when you're getting surrounded by any amount of enemies, it's never something you can survive. Even Coconut struggles with that, so I'm not going to blame the build on that. I think me just rushing into a crowd of zombies was ill-advised. I'm going to head back there, though, because I think I might actually have a chance. All right, we're back here. Hopefully I can chip away at this a little better and not exactly die from the crowd, but that explosion damage is actually going pretty far. In fact, if I can just sort of parry around here, get that... There we go, get that football. Okay, not, you know, wildly impressive damage, but better than I would have expected. This is actually pretty decent, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I'm dead, but still. All right, I'm giving this encampment one more try. One more try. Let's go for the nerd. Oh, I can't. I literally can't. That's actually pretty decent. Look at that explosion damage. If you could take advantage of that explosion, you can actually... Wow, okay, so now the nurses are dead. Get that health low, a little bit of totally rocking out action, some easy explosions, and the encampment's dead. That's actually, dare I say it, pretty impressive coming from the Black Blade. I did not expect this weapon to impress me at all, but that wasn't too bad. That wasn't too bad at all. Aura says he has a smasher, though, so let's go deal with that. All right, so once again, as demonstrated, you want to have low HP when you're going up against a target like this. And it's kind of a... Oh, it just kills everything. It's kind of a careful balance. It's weird. I want to dodge the smasher, but I will do more damage if I stay in range, but I'll be dead if I stay too close. Yep, thank you for the heal. I'm not really sure the right approach here. I think this is just not going to work out at all. I'm not really sure if I should be running around and circling back around. I know that some of the other melees in this game would have killed it already. The Stormblade's insanely strong. The Clax, I'm not even kidding. The Clax would have killed it much easier than that. So link to those videos down below and some other melees if I forgot as well. You might be able to see that there are some really decent melees in the game. So whenever I'm kind of hard on the Black Blade, it's because I know what a good melee should be doing, and its single target's not that impressive, but maybe I've never been looking at this weapon correctly. Perhaps its multi-target damage is really what I should be looking at. That explosion when you lose the health is actually doing some decent amount, so that's not too bad. All right, let's see if we can find another crowd and showcase that crowd clearing capability. Okay, nice little rooftop party we can crash. Ooh, look at that damage. It's actually decent. It'd be, okay, on the one hand, it'd be kind of nice if that explosion triggered more often, but considering that explosion lowers your health, I don't know if that would be an exactly safe thing, but it would definitely make the weapon a lot better. I'm not sure. All right, let's take out this encampment and then maybe head over to the defense. All right, encampment, let's see what we got. More nurses, all right. So I kind of want to group them up again so that when we eliminate an enemy, there we go, that nice explosion can take out a bunch all at once. Then we get a nice little fumble going. It's kind of like, it's kind of like a stacking thing where as you get the ball rolling, you just do more and more and more damage. As you're taking damage from more targets at once, you're lowering your health, activating that explosion. The crowd clearing is surprisingly, dare I say it, impressive. This weapon's actually dealing with crowds better than I would have expected. I might leave the large targets to my teammates, but yeah, I might be sticking in the fight for the defense here. I'm actually kind of surprised. All right, you knew I wasn't just going to run past that crowd of enemies. I've done this in the past where editing these videos, I watched myself like finish a recording on the way to the objective. I ran past a crowd of enemies and Editing Beast was like, what the hell, dude? Why didn't you take out that crowd? Here I am talking about how easy it is. Then I'm just going to avoid the opportunity. All right, now we're going to go to the defense, check these traps, help the team, and get her going. You know, I've honestly never tried something like this before, but she suggested I should put down some traps to activate Totally Rockin' Out, which I completely agree with. And I thought it'd be nice to just put some arches and stairs here. That way it's doubly connected to the base and still allows me to walk through. So hopefully some extra trap damage will allow, or actually trap kills, I should say, will allow Totally Rockin' Out to be active more often. I want to put down a couple more and then get this mission started. All right, mission begins. Got some ceiling electric fields down. Let's see which side we should focus on first. This seems to be a solid one over here. All right, let's see. Some electric fields are doing some damage. Totally Rockin' Out is active. Let's go against a 250 level smasher. Okay, combat sprint is going to be very helpful at this build. Okay, I can't see how much damage I'm doing. Health is really low. Smasher's frozen, and this is when I should be doing the most amount of damage. Honestly, That was 240k per hit with Totally Rocking Out and low health. That was actually decent damage. Obviously, we didn't get a lot of the Smasher health to work with, but there might be some potential here. It's such a dichotomy, though, having to be low HP to do high damage, because you can't always be low HP. That's kind of not recommended. And I'm definitely lowering my health with Arlene Iza, but it's going right back down as I take more damage. Look at that damage. That was actually good. Was that 300-some thousand? I don't know if I'm getting help. Please let me have the Smasher so I can show this. All right. This is good. Look at that. Nice little explosion to kill all at once. It's like I'm going low health, using that damage to delete everything in front of me, and then just escaping completely fine. That's kind of nice, actually. Wait, was I still getting beehive damage even after I had killed the bees? Or the bee source? I wonder if the beehive just walked through there. I wonder if there's a Smasher that I can work on. Alright, Aura's got it frozen in place. The Steel and Electric Fields are getting the Totally Rocking Out active. But of course, with my health not being lowered, I'm back down to doing like my 130-some thousand. So I'm doing significantly less damage. Mer Monster Ken and my 6th perk and 5th perk are all kind of relying on me having low HP, which is not really that good. So I definitely need to somehow be taking damage. Maybe I should go without Arlene Iza. But even with Totally Rocking Out getting activated, I'm lowering my health constantly as I go. It's like I need to be in a crowd of enemies to take... So like, what's a way to take consistent damage without... without dying? I don't know if I have the solution. Again, comment down below if I missed something obvious. If I think this weapon is something people are interested enough in, I'll take another look at it, but I'm torn because it's definitely good at crowd clearing. It's impressed me on that front, but single target is darn near impossible. So I guess I'll stick to the crowds out here and see what we can do. Look at that. See, that's where it's really nice. You get that nice little explosion activation, everything just dies. Anything in range of that is gone. It's really quite strong. Look at that power. It's only every 3 seconds, though, so it's not terribly useful. And there was a different one where hitting an enemy a certain amount of times activated it. I wonder if that would be much more useful for crowd clearing. And then the elimination activating that explosion is better for... I'm sorry. I think the elimination is better for crowd clearing, and then hitting 4 times is probably better for a single target. So I guess how you intend on using this weapon could be dependent on the 6th perk. That's kind of a lot of complications, though, because there are too many melees in the game that are really, really good at crowd clearing and single targets. So it doesn't exactly stack up, but either way, I think these traps are good to go. So this next round should start pretty quickly. All right, wave 2 begins. We actually have enemies over here that I don't think were part of the actual defense. I think they just wandered over here. I'm gonna see... Ooh, okay, we got a nurse we can bully. Perfect. Although, ironically, these nurses aren't nature, so... Although, I'm not actually running any damage to nature enemies, so that doesn't actually matter as much as I thought, because the way that elements work is that most of the time you're actually doing reduced damage. So like energy is doing 75% to any elemental zombie, so you're actually always doing less. However, when you're using an elemental weapon, like in this case a fire weapon, I will be doing 100% of my normal damage to regular enemies and 100% to nature enemies. And then I'll be doing greatly reduced against water, which isn't a thing in here, and then fire will be doing 67%. The only time you're going to get an element outside of like the modifier, in the upper right you can see that lightning bolt. That modifier says it'll be nature. The only time you'll get an element outside of that is from mini bosses. So I guess we'll just have to see what mini boss we get stuck with this time. But god dang, these zombies out here are dying easily. This is where that oh, there we go. And water, that's what I was kind of fearing. So the black blade is going to be absolutely useless against that, unfortunately, but that's okay. I'm gonna unmute. Oh, here we go. Okay, so this is kind of what I was hoping for earlier. Crowd of enemies, lowering my health with a smasher right here to take all that extra boosted damage, and then it's walking away. It just has absolutely no interest in me whatsoever. This is just sad. I can't even get a smasher to care about me. Come on! This is just depressing. You know, I just feel like I've been stood up by a smasher. Chasing it all the way, trying to get its attention, and it just doesn't even care. Please, smack me. There we go. Do damage. I need it. I survive off of your damage. I am most useful when you're hurting me. Oh god, I'm gonna die. Oh, hey, look at that. Yeah, there we go. Just in time. Got that nice little Arlene Iza, plus Totally Rocking Out activated, healing me nice and safe. Teammates took care of the mini boss. That's what I like to see. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Woo. pretty good damage. I really still, every time the crowd of enemies dies in front of me, it's amazing. But if you use a weapon like a Stormblade, well, you can activate that explosion very, very often, and it's much safer. It actually does more damage in that build, the more health you have. So instead of constantly riding the line between dead and not, you just are alive as much as you can be, which is great. Yes, do more damage, please. Look how much of a buff that is. It's like 240k. It's not the highest melee number we've ever seen, as I've mentioned too many times by now, but it's still pretty dang good coming from the Black Blade, a weapon that I've largely just forgotten about. So yeah, actually pretty good. I have an itch on my leg. It's driving me nuts. Okay, so this defense doesn't have any enemies over here, and it's just, this makes me want to run the Ravager. You know, I actually haven't made a video on the Ravager in these Fun 160s yet. I have not thrown on the Ravager and tried it. It can have triple attack speed, triple crit damage, even just a normal crit build. It's really, really strong. And I kind of wanted to showcase Swordmaster Ken, which is our commander today. And I wanted to show how he and other commanders other than Luna can actually be really good. Corrosive Strikes in the lead is really strong. Assassin Sarah is really strong. Swordmaster Ken, obviously, as mentioned, and I think the Ravager would be just like a perfect baseline sword to use to demonstrate those. Although, if I'm suggesting heroes like that, it might be too more interesting to newer players who don't have as many options, and newer players typically aren't going to have the mythic weapons. So that could be an oversight on my part, but I haven't exactly recorded those videos yet, so it's probably not too big of a deal. It's not exactly too late for me to change my mind, but if not the Ravager, then what is, like, the most basic, decent sword in the game? Like, I know that the Stormblade is a base game weapon, but those crit explosions are a little specific, and I don't know if there's any one sword in the game other than the Ravager that's, like, basically good and available to everybody. I can do some research. You guys can comment down below. I'll see you in the next one. Black Blade, to summarize it, is better than I thought, but still a pretty bad weapon. At least with this loadout, maybe I could balance it a bit more so I'm not healing as much, but even still, you guys saw when my health was low, it is super hard to avoid near certain death, and it just makes this weapon trickier to use than it's worth. So, as I was saying earlier, I'll see you guys in the next one, and yeah, take it easy. And then